It was here, of course, that UFOs had become identified. Now, everyone knew they were flying saucers from other worlds. What followed was a craze in the 1950s known as the Contactee movement. Contactees were people who believed that they had made contact with space people.
I was aboard a flying saucer in the Nevada desert on 11 different occasions. I was taken into this monstrous saucer by one of the men and confronted with a lady captain. Beautiful complexion, beautiful appearing woman, and they're peaceful people. They mean no harm to us. They come down here to investigate what's going on Earth, and they certainly convinced me that they're peaceful, and they come from another planet they call Clarion. They told me there was life on Mars and that there were life on other planets as well, and all planets except Earth had interplanetary means of travel.
The man credited with starting the Contactee movement was a Polish immigrant and self-styled philosopher named George Adamski. In his book, Flying Saucers Have Landed, he detailed a claim that he had met a landed flying saucer in the desert of Southern California in 1952.
I was picked up on a desert, in California desert, and I was taken to the mothership, and they were flowing around, not too close to the moon, but with instruments, similar, you might say, except it wasn't a camera, it was a regular sort of a telescopic instruments that we were able to see what was on the moon on the other side of it, see?
Adamski's book chronicled his meeting with a man from Venus named Orthon. It contained photographs of the scout ship he claimed came to pick him up. It included diagrams of the interior of the craft and detailed important features such as the chart room, but went on to include the kitchen and dormitory. His diagram of a Venusian mothership was accurate right down to the lounge. When he departed, Orthon would leave behind these enigmatic footprints, which Adamski explained contained an important message urging man to cease nuclear testing on Earth. His followers made similar reports.
I was taken on board a 200-foot diameter spacecraft in the Mojave Desert, and while I was on the craft, they presented me with this little crystal stone. They told me it was called Martian jasper. This craft, by the way, was from the planet Mars.
The Contactee myth offered an escape from what some saw as an inevitable nuclear war. These aliens had come down from utopian planets, and like angels, they wanted to prevent war and stop nuclear testing. Best of all, they looked like us.
I have a picture here of the gentleman who escorted me through the craft, and I would like to show it and describe it. This gentleman, he appeared almost as I am, except that he was about 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing about 150 to 155 pounds, and they all appeared about that same size, including the lady.
George Adamski would publish 2 more volumes on his contacts with beautiful space people from Saturn and Mars. He even had opportunity to take home movies of the scout ships that visited him, guided by robot pilots from Venus.
Everything is a push-button idea, and everything is operated by a robot system. Even the space people, as we call them, their minds are not so developed as to be able to cope with the speeds and the conditions of space as they venture through space. So the robot system is the one that detects most of the thing and controls the ship and governs the ships in general. See, they're only there, you might say, to look after the robot, see that the robot does operate.
The impact of Adamski's tales led to an explosion of flying saucer clubs and conventions.
As the flying saucer phenomena continued into the 50s, civilians began to become very interested, of course, people did, and clubs formed up with a classic meaning of the term club, hobbyists, as it were, that were just interested in the wilder, esoteric aspects of the phenomena, particularly the stories of people who said they were in contact with aliens.
Many of the contactees would meet up at the largest and most widely publicized flying saucer festival ever. It took place in California in March of 1954 and was called the Giant Rock Convention. It attracted over 5,000 outer space enthusiasts.
How many trips have you made to outer space?
Well, I'd say 350 or a few more.
When was the last one?
Well, first part of June.
And who did you go with?
Well, people from Jupiter.
I have made telepathic contact for the past 8 years with many space people from many areas of space, both inside and outside of the solar system.
Lectures were given from the giant rock, and stalls were set up to sell books, photos, and space-age souvenirs. Most importantly, conventions like this gave the contactees a place to exchange ideas, rumors, and reports.
But I do believe what I see, and I am one of those who was inside a flying saucer.
They told me that language is no barrier to them anywhere. They could speak any language.
So they told you that in English?
Yes.
I seem to become one with the entire universe. Everything in the universe seemed to be contracted down to one small dot.
What were their clothes like?
The woman had a radiant red box-pleated skirt and a black velvet-appearing blouse and a black and red tam or beret, and the men had clothes very similar to our Greyhound bus drivers.
Like Adamski, the contactees gave astonishing details of the spacecraft they had been taken aboard.
On July the 12th, I took a trip in a flying saucer, which I am pointing right here. The saucer was well equipped with rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms, toilets, and this saucer, I went up into Mars, over the Moon, Venus, Clarion, and Orion. When I say Orion, I do not mean Orion. It is a planet outside of our galaxy.
Also present in the new UFO myth was a belief that startling evidence was about to be revealed.
We are going to see more and more of these visitors from space, and that before too long, the evidence will be incontrovertible, that you will have on your TV screens and on your movie screens concrete evidence that the ships are here.